Hello, I'm Ruchira, one of the directors at Pickle Factory. Pickle Factory Calcutta is a hub for dance and movement, a space for the dance curious to meet, know, think, talk, and imagine dance. We are working towards a permanent venue in the city, a home for dance that will bring together artists and audiences across the board, a venue that will be part of an international network of vibrant art spaces. Until such a time as we have a venue or indeed the ability to go out, we strive to create a home for dance anywhere we can, even online for the moment. In this endeavor, we are delighted to partner with Top Cat CCU on this new series, Body Languages, where we explore movement with a featured dancer each week. This evening, we are featuring Christine Devaney, Artistic Director of the award winning Scottish based dance theatre company Curious Sea. We were lucky to have her in Kolkata last year with Talk About at the Think Arts International Festival for young audiences. This evening, she will present some of her work that is an ongoing exploration of her relationship between moving, music, and writing. Enjoy!
This is about existing and not existing, and a child's heart bursting belief that there is something in between. It's a mess. It hasn't always been a mess. There was less mess yesterday and less I kept an eye on him every day and just watched him disappear. Apart from his little bones. And I love these little bones. What song today? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And then I saw a bird in my folded limbs, nourishing back at me with almost shiny tears. Smooth and flowing around my feet, around and about possession, she sings the song. Makes me wonder about my possessions. And here comes the flow to take me all the way from my head to my feet, all the way across to the other side of this room, the room that I am, this universe. Can the neighbors see me? The communion, the emptying, the filling, the distraction, the seeing and the not seeing, the moving and the not moving, the becoming, the becoming, the becoming the breath, the softening, the letting go, the gathering, the soft mouth, the light on all of us, the light in all. Thank you for your patience. So if you've waited, thank you for watching the videos. I maybe just say a little bit about the videos. What was interesting for me is thinking about that. These videos make it look like I work on my own a lot, because I'm on my own quite a lot. And in the, hi Dana, hello, hello. I'm just wittering on here and see if there's anybody watching. And so I'll just keep, can you hear me? Can someone let me know if you can actually hear me? I'm hoping you can hear me. Not just looking at my face. So I was saying that okay, someone else is watching. Hello, good people. I should put my phone somewhere that's a bit better than me just holding it. So if you watch the films just now, yes, you can hear me. Okay, brilliant, thank you. If you watch the films just now, you see there's a film that was edited in 2017 and made from some moments from the previous year or so. And the more recent film was made a couple of weeks ago. And in between that was a short trailer for a project, a production called And the Birds Did Sing, as you saw. All of that makes it look like I work on my own a lot and I do a lot of solo work, but I don't. I collaborate a lot. So there's a lot of people involved in the making of all of my work. And so it's strange to watch the films and think it looks like I do a lot of solo work. I suppose I'm on my own a lot more with my practice at the moment. And these films came from a few years ago, being awarded some money to support a residency in the first space that you saw, the beautiful studio, which is an organisation called Lyra, based in Edinburgh, and they have this amazing space. And I wanted to start a different kind of daily practice for myself that wasn't about going to class. I did many, many years of that, but I wanted to be able to do it in the space where I had access to at Lyra. So I started the very simple thing of I'm going to commit to doing a 3-minute dance of the day, usually at the beginning of the day, but not always. And that practice has just evolved. It's something I do often on my own. 3 minutes sounds like nothing, but it's actually something. So something always happens. A dance always comes. A dance always rises. And then, as I said, I often invite other people in who are around. Anybody, please come and, do you want to come and dance? So, and then as that practice has evolved, I started writing. I've been working a lot with Luke Sutherland, who did the music for all of the productions, most of Curious's productions, but the 2 films that you saw, and the Birds Did Sing. So I've been working with Luke since 2007, and our connection is very much through the alchemy of what comes from improvising with live music that has been made in the moment, with dance that has been made in the moment, and that has evolved. And Luke is also a writer, and I used to like writing at school, and over the last few years I have been writing almost as a continuation of my exploration, my studies and my explorations in these 3-minute dances, which sometimes I call like miniature studies, little check-ins. And so I've been continuing that practice by playing music and then continuing to write after moving. And again, when there are other people with me, we share that often. Sometimes we just leave it. I have a pile of writing that's come from being online and sharing this practice during lockdown. I've been sharing my daily practice online with a core group of people and other people coming in and out. So we meet every day, nearly every day. We do 3 minutes of moving together, we do 3 minutes of writing, and then we share, and then we have fun and try different things. So I'm just going to, okay. Your video has some gorgeous spaces. Do you find your work changes depending on the space? And do you choose that carefully or simply explore the space you happen to be in? I think it's a mixture. That's the first space. I'm very lucky, actually. The first space, as I said, is here in Edinburgh, and sort of belongs to Lyra, a wonderful company who make work with and for young people. And that's in a building. It's in an old school. That school was going to be knocked down. I can't remember how many years ago now, because it's an area of regeneration. The school got saved because you could see the mural on the back wall is by a well-known Scottish artist and John Maxwell, and it got saved because of that. And then that room used to be the dining room, and it's been made into that beautiful studio. And Lyra, I have access to that. I had a lot of access to it, and during the early days of my residency, I still have access to it. So, and I adore that space. And then upstairs in that same building, there's the theatre that you could see. So I have access to that. And Curious Seed often hire that space to work in, but I can sneak in sometimes and or book space. So and then also you could also see Dance Space, which is an amazing resource for professional and the community dance sector in Edinburgh and Scotland. So yeah, I'm very lucky. And then you saw my room, Dana. Some critica. Are the 3 minutes of moving together performative in any way? Not usually. No, they haven't been. They've certainly led to. They've certainly led into my performative practice. All my work. It's certainly led into all my work, but no, I haven't yet. But I do quite a fair bit of improv performative practice now with other people. It is so lovely to keep the practice of 3 minutes of moving together. Oh, how do you? Oh, even in lockdown, yes. Have you and the team been doing this in this sort of time? Yes, for sure. Yeah, I've been. Early on in lockdown, I had this feeling of, oh my goodness, how am I going to keep moving, keep dancing? But also, it's not just about moving and dancing. It's about checking into my creative self, my creative muscle, and that's what in quite a short time, these 3 minutes, 6 minutes. Of course it takes a bit more time than that. So early on, I was like, I'm going to start doing that and recording that. And then so you can see some of the really early stuff in the video when I've got the woolly jumper on and the hat. That was very early on. It was still cold here. And then after a few days, I thought, well, I'm going to offer this out to see if anybody wants to join me. And I offered it through an organisation that I'm a member of here in Scotland called The Workroom, an dance artist-led organisation. And also just asked some people that I knew, do you want to come and join? So, and all sorts of people have joined. Yeah, I think Gavin, who's watching, he's an actor. He's been joining me every day. And Karen Tennant, who's a designer, she's been joining me every day. There's dancers, there's actors. Yeah, so I've been doing it nearly every day since lockdown. What else? I love the use of that tiny space near the radiator. Yeah, I was when Vikram first asked me to do this, I was unsure to do it. I thought I'm not going to be able to make anything during lockdown. It's not where my head's at. Even if I'm dancing, I won't be able to make something. And then I also thought, it's also about people being in your private space and in my little room here. And so then when I said, yeah, Vikram, I want to do this. I do want to do this. I thought, maybe I'll make the space even smaller to see how interesting that is. So I did that, but then I liked that piece of film, and then I recorded some others that I also liked and wanted to give Lorna, who hopefully is watching, Lorna who edited both those short films, something more to work with. So the text was just a mixture of, I just took a mixture of the text that I've been writing during my 3 minute moving and writing sessions, and recorded myself reading some of them and sent them to Luke Sutherland, who did the music for all three, and who I know won't be watching. He doesn't do Facebook, but and he, yeah, I said, can you try? We got excited about somehow trying to use the text and my voice as music, and I adore what he's done with it. I really do. Hello people. So how did I write it? As I say, it was one day. I can't even remember. It was in relation to move whatever the music was that day. We moved to however I was feeling, and it's what came out. It's what comes out, and then I put it aside. I picked it up again and sent it to Luke. Caveat, hi there. Does the confinement of the space act as a contributing factor towards creativity? I think initially well, yes, it does, because that's the room, that's the space that you're in. Dana was asking earlier about responding to space, and when I go into a space, I like to clean it up a little bit, set it up for people, and move things around a little bit, just here and there, and being in this space initially was, although I was moving, it's full of things. It's full of small things that some of you see in the film, and I have to be honest. The first week before agreeing to do this, when I was moving in this room, I felt so distracted by all the things in my life that are around me, and then I got used to it. I thought, I am really surrounded by my life. I'm surrounded by memories of every project I've ever done. I'm surrounded by all the amazing travel that I've had. Even here, I've got my Calcutta memories. I've got so things that were gifts and things I picked up in Calcutta. They're all in this room with me now. I mean, and many other. And then I started to love it more, so thanks, it was very thoughtful. I'm glad you wanted to move with it, and the music, it's so lovely to work with Lorna and Luke again. I've worked with Luke many years on many projects in lots of different ways, and delighted that he was up for this, and I've known Lorna for many years. So again, it's going back to that thing of collaborating. I thought at first I would edit this myself, because I've done some editing, and I started to do it, and I was just like, oh no, I cannot do this. I don't want to be stressed, or I just thought, just ask someone who will love doing it. Ask someone who it's their absolute skill and passion, and so I asked Lorna, because she'd worked with me on the first dance video, and I've worked with her on other projects that involve young people also. So the third video, this is a comment, the third video is very intriguing. I particularly liked the images, which are beautifully composed, have a vertical nature that compounds the sense of confinement. Yes, that was interesting to use. So I phoned some things in landscape, and then I filmed some things in landscape letterbox. Well, this form, I always forget. And we weren't sure about being able to use both of them within one film. And then Lorna's like, yeah, I'm going to try it like this. And it's nice to play with form. Sometimes that initially think, oh, it won't really work, and then you just try things, and it's really nice. Yeah, and the confinement and boxes within boxes, lines, boundaries within boundaries, but always finding something creative. I mean, that's for all of us. All of us are creative. Of course, we're confined and put in boxes in different ways, and metaphorically, physically, but there's always portrait. Thank you, Dana. There are the creative impulse will always rise, whether it's gently or whether we push against those boundaries very strongly, but it will rise, and here we are. And using the mirror with those boxes was really nice. Yeah, the mirror, that's funny, because it makes the room look bigger, which is good, and of course it makes me face myself much more than I would in a studio. I wouldn't be looking and seeing myself in the studio. So again, in these times, facing ourselves, going internal, and then I liked the idea one day of coming out of the mirrored wardrobe, and I just take us. I one day I thought, well, I'd quite like to use this photo, which is a very old photo from 1992. An amazing dance photographer called Chris Nash, and that's like another part of my life, but a very important part. So I thought, I'm going to come out the wardrobe, see what it's like coming out the wardrobe wearing almost that same sort of thing, a white shirt and trousers. So I had fun with that one day. What else? So yeah, here's my Calcutta memories here and here. Oops. And I drink my oh yeah, and this is from Fab India. I drink my coffee every day from a little cup from Siena. So yeah, kind of. I think having been in Calcutta 3 times, the connection is strong. And last year we were, no, not last year, this year we were so lucky to be there and actually perform one of our works. So we were invited by Think Arts and Pickle Factory. So I have, it's great to be seeing all the names of people I know there. So haha, yeah. Well, it's almost summer here, so I get to wear my Fab India clothes, which is not very often. So I'm not sure how much longer we have, or is there anything else? Yeah, I would love to come and be in India and visit India again. I feel we've got such a strong connection with Think Arts. I mean, they really supported the development of one of our pieces of work called Teenage Trilogy. It's how I got to know so many of you guys. The first time I came over and held a workshop, or it wasn't even a workshop, a gathering for teenagers and elders, and that really fed into our work, Teenage Trilogy. Here's another question from Dana. So what drives you when you start creating a piece? Gosh, something usually starts, and an idea comes, a thought, a feeling, an image, and it doesn't go away. And so it's these ideas or seeds, let's call them, arrive unusual times, and so it's something that it just it's when it won't go away, when something stays, and you remember an idea and it keeps coming back, and then everything or many things in your life start connecting into that idea, start sort of feeding it, and these beautiful sort of the things sort of start to happen. This synchronicity of ideas and images start to come, and usually once I say an idea out loud, I've got this idea, and I share it with a friend or Vicky or Lee from the company or a collaborator, then it's like, okay, this is it now. So yeah. As a dancer, what do you feel about the space for creating work for young people and children? Oh, well, I feel it's incredibly important. It's become part of what Curious Seed also do. I think in Scotland, at least, it's been leading. It should be done, and it should be done with as much care, if not more care, and integrity than as when you're making work for adults. And I think that happens a lot. It does happen a lot here in Scotland and other countries, that we you test, you were, you know, very wisely test the work a lot on the audience before you put it out as a finished production, and that means there's more rigor there around before putting the work out. So I hope, and I actually now now in this space, these times, there should be more space for creating good dance and perform and theatre work for young people to help in these times, to help what's going to be a period of recovery. So are your seeds visual or verbal ideas? Oh, they're all sorts. Music drives me a lot. But to be honest, sometimes it's a feeling. Sometimes it's something that, like, it's okay with Mama Baba Me. It's a piece we've made for early years. Something around the relationship between. I was in a workshop, another colleague's workshop, and something we did there just wouldn't go away, and it was very circular, it was very physical, and something about that just made me think about the parent-child relationship, and whether it's good or bad or everything in between. It's a constant in our lives, and it can feel circular. Anyway, that was the start of that. It was a sort of feeling and an image and physical, and then the idea of having a little mini arena, and then I share my ideas with collaborators, and then the seeds start to grow and bloom. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you. We all need support in this period, yes. Yes, absolutely agreed. We all need support in this period, ways to engage and process, children and adults alike, yes. Need the arts more than ever. Absolutely, and I know at the moment a lot of artists and people who work in the arts are having a period of self-reflection, asking what is our purpose, what is our purpose now, how can we be useful now, what will our purpose be in the future, how can we be useful in the future. And I'm very lucky that I'm a part of an organisation that has support, so I can take the time to. I have support around asking these questions, and I can also help support the sector and other dancers and people. Freelance artists are perhaps a little bit more on their own with these questions. However, if we take away the arts because we stumble and wobble about our purpose, what are people's lives without the arts and culture? So this is the time we need to not lose our purpose. Yes, question. Yes, gather ourselves and share best ways forward, best practice forward. But artists shouldn't lose a sense of purpose. So this is from Heartbreak. How important is it for How important it is for dancers? This brings in the springing of movement since your work is very encouraging to me as dancer and audience. Oh, she's replying to Dana. Yes, so yes. I'm not sure. Sorry, Harpreet. I'm not sure if you're asking me a question there. This bringing in of movements. Yeah, I mean there's this the arts for. Yeah, who is the arts for? It's for people. It's for audience, and that's to experience in different ways. Sometimes there's maybe more people at home, maybe at the moment, participating in, hopefully, arts in different ways. I mean, people who were already audience. And yeah, sorry, I'm not quite sure where I'm going with that, but and I'm just going to who is we can explore how to do. Yeah, beautiful work. This is my friend, my dear friend. Beautiful work. Really loved the lockdown piece, and Luke's score was sublime. Yes. I'm getting it. Yes, thank you. I'm not sure if I mean, and also in terms of, well, this practice. I mean, when I'm making a piece of work, I'm in the room. Of course, I'm in the room sometimes myself, and I do a lot of research myself. But I'm in the room with others. I'm with dancers. I'm with my designer. I'm with the musician, who's often Luke right from the beginning. With Teenage Trilogy, we worked with teenagers. We worked with older people. So my inspiration and my drive is also what comes out in the room when we share, when we're really open, and we share the experience of telling stories together, moving together, listening and making music together. What comes out, it's almost like I in my process I have this sort of a bit of a mantra about input, process, output. So, and that's cyclical. You know, what is it that we all input in the beginning of a process, and then we process, and then there's output, and then the output becomes the process, or it becomes the input. So everybody in the room, people quite often joke, you know, be careful what you do in the room because Devaney will use it. Everything in the room that comes up is possible material to start with. Yeah, and then of course it's edited and refined and made into something else. This is from Dana. Was it different working with our mad bunch of teenagers in Calcutta? That you say, that rather in the UK? Yes, the teenagers I met in Calcutta. Well, we had a process. The first year when I met, the teenagers I met they were very quiet. Initially, they were initially there was, let's say elders and teenagers in the room at the same time, and it was quite challenging to get the elders to give the teenagers their voice. But we did, and they did. And then when we were back working on Teenage Times Calcutta Remix, we had 14, 16. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. And they were not so quiet then. But like the teenagers I met all over the world, gosh, that sounds amazing now. But I did have the privilege of meeting teenagers and talking with teenagers in Australia, Scotland, Denmark, Calcutta. So there was something, of course, really connected. Something that connected them was that they were all going through it, and there were quiet teenagers. There was rowdy teenagers. There was very lively teenagers. There was quieter teenagers. You know, so. I'm just having great memories of being in the school and working with the Calcutta teenagers. They were so open-hearted. Yeah, that's what and also very respectful. So, yeah. What else? I'm trying to think. I want to really thank Top Cat, and I want to thank Pickle Factory, especially Vikram, for inviting me to do this. I want to thank Think Arts for and Ruchira especially for making that first connection. She met Vicky at a talk here in Scotland, and Vicky works for Curious Seed, and they just got it right away that there was a good connection there, and we followed that up, and we've been following that connection up ever since. So I want to really thank them, and then also Think Arts team, who always have made our work in Calcutta so amazing. So Dana is saying thank you, and is that time to go? So thank you all again for tuning in and being very, very patient on the tech side. And I hope you're all well in Calcutta. I hope anyone I know from Calcutta is well. So Pickle Factory is saying, thanks Christine, this was a lovely session and beautiful video. Hope the Calcutta connection stays strong. So do I, even though there was a wobbly internet connection somewhere today. And take care everyone, and move today. Move for 3 minutes and then write and see how you are. And bye bye. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. Oh, how do I turn it off?
We hope you enjoyed the video. Look out for more body languages sessions coming up every Wednesday on the Top Cat CCU livecast on Facebook at 6 p.m. We have a host of other programs as well, discovering the world of dance and movement. There's more on our website, details below. Follow us, join us, support us. Do drop us a line, we'd love to hear from you. And see you next Wednesday.